Okay. My brain had to read for a moment. Sometimes read good, brain damage bad, which I obtained from reading. We're gonna play some Magic, maybe some chess. It's been a minute. Maybe some deep dives on the internet. It's always fun. Looking at free and open source stuff. So the free and open source nerds can watch later. There's not much in my opinion, that's like always. There's nothing like really exciting that ever goes off. And though there is that cool thing that I came across last, like maybe a stream or two ago. That new level layer of privacy net, that protocol, whatever the fuck that person made. Ooh, I should always wait for it to have 4 cards and then play this. Controlling exile target to your opponent control until it's. Oh, okay. Oh, he's got 2. I guess maybe. Probably use on that to get it back and then use on that. Power move, to be honest. Where the fuck's all my land now? I'll keep it. I'll do a Joker. Get land like it. Get it. Need some land, man. I'm behind. Wow. Nothing. 2, 3, 4, 5. So far behind. I'm getting fucked. Unless I pull something. Alright, I can't. Can't do it. So boring. I already lost interest. This is my weakness in the game. I just get bored. Like, come on. That's like crazy. You're telling me out of all the cards, after all the times I've pulled nothing but land, every fucking game, this fucking loser that fucking can't even fucking pull one land card. It's crazy. I'm saying this fucking deck shuffling is fucking retarded. They should develop a way where, like, I don't know, like, let me roll dice and let me do it virtually. Find a way that I can do it virtually. Figure it out. Just embarrassing. Oh, look. Two land for rest game. Death touch. Let's get one more land. Maybe I have to do some like adjustments that I'm not seeing. What the fuck? What is this crack? Base. I need to redo my deck. I can't. That's insane. Either it's a me thing or these fucking morons here don't know how to fucking make a game. It's probably like the latter, but that's crazy. 2 matches in a row, just no fucking land. Even though I've optimized this and added land. It's like Wizard of the West cucks, bro. Here. I barely see evolving winds now. Alright. No excuse now. The man, the legend. What up, man? It's been a while. Hope you're doing good. Maybe the ratio will be good now. And the ratio was not good. Ratio, in fact, was not good. Alright, here we go. Thanks, that's been a really nice conversation over it. Yeah, of course. Based. Actually. Maybe I did. Anything the whole time. Ooh. I've been reading about Fedora versus OpenSUSE secure heading. They both use. What do you think? OpenSUSE is good. I think it's underrated. I think Fedora just has a bigger adoption. It's indestructible. All right. Yeah, I'm cut. I don't know too much about OpenSUSE's like ST Linux policies and its hardening out the gate versus like Fedora's. Fedora does like some extra steps. Though I did use what is it called? Rancher, which is made by OpenSUSE, and I mean if big companies trust their container architecture with if they could trust their container architecture with them, it's, you know, there's so Yast is an amazing man. I use both terminal and GUI. It's crazy good. Let's look at okay. SE Linux is a mandatory access control system, Mac. Why should I enable SE Linux to enforce mode? To understand why SE Linux is important, we need to know how Linux security works without it. Linux by default has very little in the way of security controls. You are root and have no limits to what you can do, and you are the user and you can't interact with other users, files, tools. Like sudo allows you to become root and remove all the limits you previously had. This is why security issues such as privilege escalation on Linux is so damaging. Once you become root, you have no restrictions. This is a problem with Linux in general. Like but by the way, the thing is, like, root, you can just, I mean, it's by default, and because it's by default, you can become root whenever. Like, there's no extra step besides password, and if your password's weak or it gets compromised, then you kind of get fucked in the long term. Because you have unlimited access. You know, privilege escalation is huge in Linux, obviously, like they were saying. OpenSUSE has all its ports closed, and default Fedora has all its ports open. Oh, I mean, yeah, if all of the ports are closed, like yes, that does some like attack surface reduction, but it makes it, I think it's kind of a gimmick. It's like changing like port 22 on like SSH. Not that if you remove all of them, sure, it probably has some significant impact on security. But based on like really what, on a server infrastructure, it would be very secure, but it would be very impractical because a lot of services were like, for me, it'd be impractical. I run all my services like internal, and because I run them all internal, my PC couldn't read. Like, I need SSH, I need this. Now I'll like close off ports that like I don't use, but everything's internal, so it's definitely a thought. Where were we? SE Linux changes, oh yeah, privilege, okay, blah, blah, blah. SE Linux changes this. SE Linux labels every file and process, allowing more strict rules to exist. This can even confine what root can do. This can prevent some exploits from working, and if exploit does succeed, the attacker becomes root. They still are confined and limited to what they can do or see. Because this is mandatory access control system, the user cannot escape or modify the rules, preventing mistake. Open that. How does SE Linux do that? SE Linux gives you everything your system on your system a type. This includes a process like SSHD_T files, like user home _home T, you know, and even network socks. I mean, just run CubesOS. This does it for you all. A policy defines rules allowing denying actions from one or another. Actually, I can do this in void Linux. So, like, if the suitor's directory is modified, it is all fun. Yeah. So, like, there's a file for my resolve config. Where is it? I wonder if it's here, right here. So this in void Linux chatter at resolve config, this will make this unwritable. Like, so say, like, this makes it unchangeable. So if I wanted to go in and do a nano, it won't let me change that file at all, no matter what. So that kind of helps prevent this really from changing. This isn't a security thing, but this is kind of sudo, if I'm correct. Oh, yeah, yeah, probably. There's also like shadow. Like shadow is like a very safeguarded. Like it's obviously the shadow text file is where all your passwords are stored. So if that gets compromised, you're kind of fucked. But this is where SE Linux policies come in, and you have like if you work with like Red Hat, or like in an enterprise, like you work for an enterprise company, you would write these policies. This is like Active Directory. Like you give everyone certain permissions, and some people least permissions, and even like people with the highest permissions should still have some limitation of what they can and cannot do. If something is out of whack, like say, you can't change XYZ even if you're a sudo at 3 in the morning. Like you could set it up like that, or like if you have a access control, like say you have a building, and this building has an access ID badge. If somebody can clone that badge, that's kind of bad, because you know security guards and cameras and people, they're not going to know every single person that's walking the facility, especially if it's like thousands and tens of thousands of people. They just see, oh, they have the security badge, they got in, so they're probably supposed to be here. This is where like social engineering can kind of like go peak. But this is a problem because a lot of companies won't encrypt these cards, or like they'll have outdated unencrypted cards, and they don't want to spend the money replacing tens of thousands of them, especially if they churn through a lot of employees, or if a lot of them are like just visitors, etc., etc. If they don't do this, somebody could clone this badge, just put their face on it in some like Photoshop, walk through the facility, and do some major damage. They could maybe get to like like access places that they're not supposed to because they have a badge that has maybe like higher privilege. Like, oh, this badge is allowed to get into like every room. Say that they don't even set up badges to have different access codes. Like oh, all the badges can go into any room no matter what. So like you're not going to look suspicious, especially if this is just like standard policy. You can then do fundamentally maybe a lot of damage. Now, how you would mitigate that is that you would encrypt these keys. You would make sure they're non-readable, or you would add an MFA or a 2FA, multi-factor authentication, second factor authentication, however you want to look at it. Like a PIN. So if somebody, even if they clone your key, if they don't know your PIN, they can't get into the said building. But let's say hypothetically that doesn't exist. Somebody gets into the building now, and say it has privilege. It doesn't have like the highest level of privilege. Say it's just you can go into here, you can go into the waiting room, you can go into the bathroom, and that's it. That is still a better policy, because then they can't just go into the server room, they can't go into the HR room, they can't go into the computer room where maybe the trade secrets are, etc., etc. That's what SE Linux policies are on a computer level versus like a human level. Now, is it going to make everything super secure? No, because you have a convenience factor. If everyone had to have a special super encrypted key, and they had to have a different PIN for each room and each door, then this becomes a level of, yes, extreme security, but massive inconvenience and unproductive. Companies are going to always look at, where can I go get some, where the security is less, but the productivity is much more valuable. Kick Secure Debian has exactly that kind of architecture. Yeah, kind of. They have the system mainnet Linux. The problem is they picked Debian, and Debian is just not. I think Debian was a poor choice, just from the way I've read LTS versus rolling release. This is why Fedora is, even though Fedora is not like you can get like I believe rolling release on Fedora. I believe. But Fedora does, it's a point release model with new versions probably every 6 months. So they have like a schedule, some don't. Rolling release is better because you're getting all the updates much faster. right here. A release cycle is the process by which new version of Linux operating system is developed, tested, and released publicly. It defines something once a year or every 5 years with nothing in between, or maybe small increments, updates, you know, just something to think about. Flatpaks are good if you use Flat Seal. Flatpaks can, and I guess the problem with Flatkill was it wasn't taking into account a lot of the Flatpaks that people were using weren't verified. Use verified Flatpaks. Make sure it's got the verified check. That gives it some some form of like, hey, this is like done by the creator, and like it's a lot, maybe a little bit more audited and secured. And then you get Flat Seal where you can tighten down the permissions more, make it a little bit better. There's also like other like approaches you can go about it, but like Flatpaks are generally like pretty good. I think people talk shit about them too much. Okay. How does SE Linux do that? Oh, yep. You might have user, blah, 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 blah. But if an attacker wishes to compromise a process like HTTPD_T, then he tries to write root SSH keys to get a backdoor, they are denied permission. How SE Linux implemented on OpenSUSE? Also reading the comments before downloading. Yeah, like how people like maybe have audited it, like, hey, this looks like a little sus, you should probably not. And like go through the code a little bit. You don't have to be a developer to like be able to read code, because generally good code, the rule of good code is like good documentation, like good comment structure. It's not going to happen all the time. Obviously, if you're trying to do something malicious, you would try to like sneak in like a backdoor and make it look like normal code, of course. But it's, I don't know. I think it's just one of those things. You got to like. I do agree that you shouldn't have to learn how to code, but like you should know how to vet like good how to vet software, how to download and verify that you're downloading the right software. That's another good one. Ultimately, you're giving some form of trust away. Like you are trusting somewhat to a certain degree. It's impossible to be completely trustless. It's okay to be skeptical, though. Like, you could be skeptical still. Like, you could be like, I'm not going to give full access to this. Like, I'm going to set up next DNS, and I'm going to put some firewalls. And this is like Cube's approach. Cube's approach is you do everything in a template first that you do not trust at all. Like, you give zero trust to this template. You don't let it interact with like any other cube, like you don't share resources. Then you open up maybe a file like with Danger Zone. I agree 100%. Good documentation if there's a community behind it, even tastier. Yeah, true. Like with cubes, how you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to take the software, add it to a template into a cubes that you don't trust. I was watching Linus Tech Tips. Sorry to hear that. So once you like trust it, or like say it's like a PDF document, you can actually do this in just the normal right click. Like you right click it, you open up a document. You can open up in a disposable cube, and it'll have no internet access. I download at least. I tried to. Yeah, if sketchy, you could do like a virtual machine. That would be pretty smart. Or like you could do it in Docker or like anything else. I mean, it just kind of depends like what your goal is. I just verify software, and yeah, I agree that like digital minimalism is probably a good thing. I just like testing software, so if I do, I would test it on cubes. You know, RIP my laptop, so I got to get a new one. But I'm probably going to go with Novacust. I'm probably going to go with no. I really wanted to. The problem is Framework is probably not going to get Core Boot anytime soon. And I do want Core Boot. But we'll look at that later. It's not important. So, okay. How the OpenSUSE SE Linux policies uses the Fedora SE Linux policies as upstream with some OpenSUSE specific changes. This means most documentation on Fedora is also applicable to OpenSUSE. based. The repository for OpenCC Linux policy can be found here, so that means you can apply it to your own. I'm assuming the main difference to the Fedora policy is the documents are here. Read SN and SE Linux concepts. I saw the dist. He didn't. Report SE Linux bug, and then, I really want a Nova custom, but my country custom. The problem is to get it. Yeah. I mean, they're expensive. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, they're like $1,400, $1,500. I only want to get one because it has core. It's the only one I've read. They're the only ones. They're the only ones that do core boot properly, from what I understand. Like very proper. So does NitroKey, but the problem is NitroKey. Is kind of expensive as well. Like I think it's more expensive, and it's kind of on older hardware. And this is no hate towards them. I have the one. I have their Nitro pad. Like they start. I have their. I mean their Nitro. I have a NitroKey. Like their upgrades are pretty insane. Like this is just a standard. It's kind of it gets like more expensive. But for like 32 gigs, 150 gigs. You can disable this. I just do no wireless. But I make sure they have a fucking any laptop that has no Ethernet jack, RJ45 jack can kill themselves. I would just install cubes myself. I'm at like 2K, and that's only with 64 gigs of RAM and an i7 GPU with AI boost. And it comes around the same. They have Measure Boot though. I don't think they have. Oh, they do have. They do have Dash Arrow Core Boot as well. Huh. Also, good for system. Yeah. Too much money. I can buy maybe once I start working. Yeah, they're not cheap. They're niche though. Like this is like a niche product. You know what I mean? Type C Europe. Guys. Ooh. Dash Arrow Tina Core UFI without Measure Boot, without NitroKey. Like this is Dash Arrow Heads. Heads is like cubes only. And it's kind of cool. But you can't. From what I understand, with Heads, you cannot encrypt the drive. I think that's. I don't know why, but I think you can't, if I'm not mistaken. It It is possible to use Lux with core boot and heads, but they're important to our single heads. Is security force firmware and core boot does not inherently provide disencryption. Instead, it focuses on integrity verification through measured boot and trusted chain of trust. Yeah, TPM. Physical dongle like YubiKey. The system's disencryption must be handled separately, typically using Lux. Oh, okay, so you can do it. Interesting. I thought you couldn't. I read somewhere you couldn't. Oh, wow. Interesting. It can still do cold boot attacks, which might still be prevalent, to be honest. The two systems can be used together, heart heads, to ensure for. Oh, interesting. You will need a physical security dongle for heads. It's part of the circle of trust between the TPM, security dongle, and firmware, where if anyone is missing or altered, then you, the user, have to wait to identify it. There's no way to fully set up heads without a USB dongle. If you're concerned about disk with it, you can use full disencryption with core boot. It's a little dated, but here's a guide. Interesting. I rock a P1 Gen 6 after saving money for too long. It has 64 gigs of RAM, i9V. Boo, Intel. It can run Cubes OS, but I need it for .NET development for my application, so I'm looking for a cheap laptop that can run Cubes. You can run Cubes on pretty inexpensive hardware. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, you should be able to use .NET. Because the developers, I mean, they develop in Cubes. I don't know how well it is using Cubes. Cubes OS can be a variable platform for .NET development, leveraging security. Developers can run .NET applications within the dedicated app VMs, which can be based on Linux templates like Fedora or Windows. Check it out. You can do it. In summary, while Cube's offering strong security, my hobby laptop is a ThinkPad T460. Nice. We do love hobby Lenovo ThinkPads. The based version, the based laptop, truly a beast. It's in itself. Huh. Nice Kick Secure mention, guys. Let's see what's is Cube's. Ooh, maybe if I spelled right. What distro is Cubes based on? It's based on Zen Hypervisor. It's not really based on a distro. It's based on Zen Hypervisor. But things that affect Zen don't necessarily affect Cubes OS, because they kind of forked it and did improvements on it. It's kind of like their own thing. Like there was a vulnerability with Zen not too long, the Zen Hypervisor not too long ago, and they weren't affected by it, which was kind of cool. They just used I think they used Fedora for compatibility, and obviously Debian, and then they have Unix. Let's see what's news. Oh, nice. A testing. Let's see what it's. Dom 0 upgraded to Fedora 41. Zen upgrade. So Dom 0 is based on Fedora, I think, for security reasons versus like Debian. And some compatibility thing. But you can make you don't have to use XFCE with Cubes OS. You can switch to GNOME. I might try. I might do it. Dom 0 upgraded Fedora 0.1. Zen upgraded to version 4.19. Default Fedora template upgraded to 4.2. Okay. Few highlights from the many changes, including the release from more comprehensive list. Oh, nice. Device self-oriented. Maybe they fucking fixed cute CTAP proxy. Nuix does a workflow. I usually utilize device API, a dedicated assignments page added to globe config devices, which will be completely. Oh yeah, I think they did some redesign with widgets. Yeah. Pubes OS is based on Ball Hypervisor and Scrotum Desktop. Wow. Windows 11 also runs as guest on top of Hyper-V, I believe. Maybe. I know Windows has a lot of virtualization and I think there was something I was reading about how they do their virtualization that's quite interesting. Support for advanced format drives are better known for 4K sectors. Templates could request custom kernel command line parameters currently used for Kick Secure. Allow VMs to specify boot modes as being only intended for app VMs or templates. Shipping Grub 2 from Fedora with all security patches and bootloader specifications support. I see one. Okay. Nice. Ability to prohibit start of specific cubes. Oh, nice. Disallow files, URL, and application from Unix workstation cubes to be opened in a non... Oh, nice. That's kind of nice. Preventing users from changing their Unix workstation cubes NetVM sysfile for other clearnets. Oh, nice. Nice. Keystroke level... Oh, nice. They did Cloak. Keystroke level online anonymization kernel. Cloak is kind of cool for keystroke. It's supposed to like mask your like keystrokes to make it like so it doesn't look like you're typing at the same speed or something, or in the same time zone. I don't know. They do some magic with that. It's crazy how like just your keystroke patterns can somewhat be correlated. That's why I say people are very unique in their own ways. So like it's very difficult to actually anti-fingerprinting is very hard to achieve. Just plain and simple. Why do you use Void if you don't? I had a bad experience with Garuda again, like Arch, and I wanted to try something different. Long story short, and I like it. I ended up liking it. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I ended up liking it. It's quick. It's fast. Its updates are nice. Its package manager is a little goofy. It's too many letters. They need to make it shorter. And I'm dyslexic, so that shit fucks me up. Allow users to add free-form text to cubes for description, notes, comments. Oh, okay. Bedrock Linux with Gen 2 and Void will be good. Oh yeah, I forgot about Bedrock. Oh, automatically clean cubes incoming directory if empty. Admin API for reading ready denied. So new device API for Salt. IPv6 DNS support for full IPv4 less environment. I don't even know why people use IPv6 is so fucking weird to actually care about. Huh. Create a cube VM is retired in favor of the improved create new cube. I'm sure you don't have a beer overflow. Beer overflow. Let's see what distro. Watch. Let's see what's new. I always like coming on here and seeing what's new. MX Linux, guys, the #1 Linux distro. Oh, Catchy OS is now #1. Now we can all hate it, guys. It's better than Mint, though. This is because 2 big YouTubers talked about it, so everyone's like, "What's all you use it?" I actually used Zorin once. I paid, I think, them like $1. You can pay them whatever you want, and I think I paid them $1 to use it. I didn't care for it. Ooh, nice. Security Onion. This is you want to talk about a heavy fucking program to run? Shit's heavy. Security Onion is kind of cool. Kind of a cool idea. Security Onion is a specialist security-oriented Linux distribution based on Oracle Linux. It is a free and open source platform for threat hunting, enterprise security monitoring, and log management. It includes custom interface for alerting, dashboards, hunting, PCAP detection, and case management. It also includes other tools such as OS Query, and Elasticsearch, and data search engine, log slash, nice. Just lots of fucking words. I use Zorin on Metal. It was a piece of shit. That's fair. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. David Heinemeier Henson announced the release of Omarchy, a significant upgrade to the project's Arch-based Linux distribution featuring a Hyperland tiling window manager. I think this is a federal honeypot. Everyone that's trying it out is going to be compromised, and it looks now sus to me. It looks too sus. I see major people using this. Sparky Linux. Nice. Catchy OS Linux Mint with customized Zen or a kernel. Yeah, for real. Where's Void, guys? We need people. Why is Cube so low? This is hurtful. Void Linux. Based. I don't use XFCE though. I could never. Oh, released. Major release was back in February. Rhino looks is very cool. Yeah, there's a rhino picture in the background, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually. I don't know why people unironically use Vivaldi though. I do not like Vivaldi, and it's partially proprietary. I saw an interview with this guy. I just don't trust him. I don't like him. You can have the best XFCE experience with Rhino Linux. You can have the best XFCE experience by uninstalling it. Proton VPN for Vivaldi with one-click activation. Ad blocker. You can just block your own ads. Workspace. I don't understand why the fuck you need tab tiling and fucking workspaces. Unicorn desktop. The best desktop is actually terminal only desktop. Just a terminal. No DE is the best DE. Can't scroll. Can't doom scroll. I just don't like I don't trust these guys. Why don't they just charge? I'm a big time Vivaldi hater. Too much bloat. Yeah, for real. Not even just bloat, it's proprietary. there's proprietary software in there. It's not fully open source, which is a little crazy. They said they say it's a business move so that no one steals their intellectual property. But like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You're not even charging for it. So I'm like wondering how the fuck you're making money. In my head. Oh no, it's just not. Isn't there a tech lore? Isn't there a browser? Resource. Oh. Yeah, no Vivaldi. That's crazy. I don't think Chromite... Is this old? Isn't Chromite super far behind its commits? Or something? I think someone... the guy that did Divest OS... He had like a browser... He had a browser... He had a browser comparison list. It was really good. Tor browser, #1. Malvad. I wouldn't put Malvad browser even. I don't know if these are in order. Firefox actually, you should probably not use Firefox Focus. You should use IronFox, the based version, and then just Malvad browser, based on Gecko. Brave, Onion browser. I don't really care for Libre. I don't really care for LibreWolf. Not gonna lie. KeePass Paste, KeePass XC, KeePass DX, Strongbox, never used it. KeePassium, the fuck? Proton, Bitwarden based. 1Password. Why even do proprietary passwords at this point? Like, there's nothing you can really do that's different. Open source, Entei. Entei is pretty awesome. It's a pretty cool idea. Firefox Focus is based, though, for mobile. Use IronFox. It's better. IronFox incorporates something by Phoenix. Incorporates encrypted DNS hello, encrypted client hello already. So when it gets more support, it's going to be more usable. It's a privacy and security focused version. It's probably the best Firefox I've seen. And I'm a Firefox hater. If you use the YubiKey, just to let you know it's proprietary. You can get a solo key or a Nitro key. It's open source. Based. It uses open source UF2 hardware and more private payment methods. You can actually purchase a Nitro key with Monero, which is what I did, and then a solo key, and you can just make your own hardware key. Encryption, Veracrypt, Yo, this motherfucker doesn't have PicoCrypt. Cringe. Portmaster doesn't work on Void Linux for some reason. I can't get it to work. Don't know why. NetGuard based. I used NetGuard for a long time before I ever got into Graphene OS. I used NetGuard. When is Gentoo Mobile coming out? It actually is. You can if you get the PinePhone, there's a way to compile and run Gentoo. If you have the PinePhone, you can actually set up Gentoo Mobile. They have a whole documentation for it. It is real. This is not a meme. Applications, F-Droid, this better not be in order. F-Droid, Yeah. Aurora Store shouldn't even be on here. It's garbage. There's a lot of reasons why Aurora Store is not good. After it is. Yeah. Obtainium. Wow. No. Interesting. This has not been updated. Fedora based, CubesOS based. It's not advanced. This needs to stop being said. It's so. I wish Samsung wasn't a bitch about letting you install what you want on their phone. Well, of course, they're a company. They want full ownership. They want full collection. Hunix based. I think Hunix is more annoying to set up than Cubes. Hunix, you got to set up 2 virtual machines. Tails OS based, Arch. It's not really advanced. Mac OS, simple, variable. Fedora is not even moderately hard. God, I think Henry just makes up shit. I want to just hand a person a USB drive and CubesOS and just have them follow the steps and then have the documentation there if they really need it, and see how well they navigate Cubes. I think the idea that Cubes is so hard is kind of retarded. Micro G, boo, still uses Google, by the way. So saying Micro G is de-Googled is kind of a lie. Graphene OS, the only option. They should remove the others. CRX NG, kind of a bitch with their search. Brave search has gotten better. I used this once, but it's proprietary. These 2 proprietaries are major killers. Everyone should use CRX NG. I installed Fedora LXTQ on a non-tech savvy friend's secondary computer. Worked flawlessly, and the only issue was caused by Fedora. Now runs Q4OS. What's Q4OS? Oh. Oh, it's based on Debian. Oh, that's cool. It looks clean. I don't hate it. It's kind of nice. It's very, I'll have to look more into that, just for fun. The fact that it's based on Debian, though, is kind of painful. Kagi, I think Kagi was a fucking. I think they were. I think they're a scam. I gotta stop using that word. I think they were. I think they're a stupid idea. Who's gonna pay? Do you realize? I don't think people realize how much I search for shit. Like, I search enough where I would be pissed. And I understand it's like a pro and con. It's like a trade-off. Like, yes, I'm searching for free all this time, but I'm getting ads. I just block ads, so I'm not too worried. It is Stinky Plasma and Based Trinity Plasma 3 Fork brought to you by the feature. Oh, nice. Based. I'll have to check it out. Well, guys, I enslaved you for my hour. I'm going to go do some research and possibly bake banana bread. Make sure to like and argue in the comments so that the algorithm likes you and me and YouTube stops